Hey y'all, this is Gail teaching today our gentle yoga for back hair. It's a beginner's class. Again, we're keeping everything between the easy and ouch. If you find yourself in a spicy place, I invite you to return your attention to your breath. So listen to the breath going in through the nose, and then listen to the breath exiting the nose. If you need to breathe through the mouth, that's okay too. Listen to the breath. Sometimes that will redirect your strong sensations to be a little bit less. Sometimes it doesn't work and you have to back off. That's okay. We're going to start standing today. We're going to do arm circles. We're going to do overhead extension. We're going to do running man. Now, these can also be done seated on the chair. So don't worry if you don't want to be standing, if you don't want to get down to the floor, you can do everything in the chair. So I'm going to stand up, move this chair out of the way. I come back to the front of the room near the end of the class just to give you some little predictability in our class today for our guided rest and relaxation part. So let me go ahead and turn the chair because I may want to demonstrate this one of the postures seated on a chair. But if you're standing or seated, let's point those toes towards 12 o'clock. You know what? I need to move that camera just a little bit because you can't see the top of my head. Always makes for great video replay, right? You can't see the top of her head. Okay, is that important? I don't know. Point those toes towards 12 o'clock. So none of this feet out to the side or kind of pigeon-toed in. Just point them straight as best you can. You're seated in the chair. Come away from the back of the chair a little bit so you're engaging the feet muscles firmly into the floor. Now, like I say in some of our warrior poses, what we do is we don't just stand here or sit here. We be very active in doing this. We're going to press firmly into the floor. And again, as if there's a wrinkle here, we're going to press down and away. So you really get into that hip musculature. Now we're going to go into letter W, arms. So we've done this before. So you kind of squeeze those shoulders. Feel that squeeze of the upper back of the shoulders towards the spine. And then for arm circles, we're going to take those hands, fold them into golfer's grip. So fold the fingers into the pad of the hand, thumb sticking out as if you're hitchhiking, and try to have the top of the hand in alignment with the forearm. So none of this cocked wrist business, okay? So squeezy shoulders, firm feet into the floor, extend those arms out into a letter T. You can do one arm at a time. Now my thumbs are up right now, so I'm going to point the thumbs towards you and start drawing circles in front and in the back. And again, I'm pressing firmly into the floor. Then I'm going to pick up the speed. So this is quite spicy sometimes for folks in their shoulders, and firm feet into the floor. Sometimes it's like, ooh, I really am getting some activation of those muscles. So this strengthens our upper back. Plus you have a little wave-like motion going on with these arm circles. This is great for getting things aligned back up into better order. So this is part of our yoga postural alignment therapy that we do. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those shoulders. Circle, circle, circle. Hello, spicy shoulders. Breathe. And then release. Shake out those shoulders, kind of bend one knee, then the other. Just kind of get a little bit of movement into the body. Okay, we're going to go back into that. So again, firm feet into the floor, press down, push away, get all that good juice going on in those hips, as I like to call it. Go back to letter W, squeeze those shoulders. Okay, fold the fingers into the pads. You know, that right hand, it didn't quite come down. That's okay. And extend those arms out into that letter T. Now, before we had the thumbs forward, let's do thumbs up and thumbs back behind us. Ooh, there it is right there. Squeezing the shoulders, firm feet into the floor, draw circles behind you and forward. If you want more information on postural alignment, check out Egoscue, E-G-O-S-C-U-E. Pete Egoscue. Let's see, ex-Marine, Vietnam War, physical therapist. He is in the business of getting people out of pain. So I have chronic back pain, so I use some of these in our yoga classes. If you can go faster, great. If you can't, that's okay. You want to do just one side at a time, but keep the squeezy shoulders, feet firm into the floor, whether you're seated or standing. 85 more. Okay, maybe not 85. How about 3 more? 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Shake it out. Bend one knee, then the other. Kind of get a little bit, little good stuff here. Clap your hands. Rub those hands. Get a little heat into those hands, a little circulation. Bend those knees. Heels up and down if you're seated on a chair. Up and down if you're standing on the yoga mat. Very good. And shake it out. Okay, next. I'm sure you're not going to see this in the video, but so I'm going to do this next one seated on the chair. But still, if you're standing, keep standing. Again, you're pressing firmly into the floor, and we're going to interlace the fingers and then push the fingers away. And then with super straight elbows, you're going to do the best you can with what you got. You're going to raise them up and then raise them up some more. And you get to a place where it stops, right? And then think about bending the elbows and really pressing towards the sky. So you're trying to lengthen that upper back out of the pelvis, feet firm into the floor. I always forget that when I'm seated. So strong legs into the ground, and then reach, 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 push, push, push away. Breathe in and out. It's kind of hard, kind of tough to do that with our overhead extension. And release. Woo! Shake it out a little bit. Very good. So I'm going to show this next one standing, and then I'll show it seated. You'll have to kind of scooch near the edge of your chair to do this one seated. So let me move my chair back a little bit. So standing, we're going to have 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind, and a nice width in between. And I'm going to have my shoulders over my hips. And then I'm going to bend both knees, contract my belly button towards the spine. Then I bend my elbows, and I'm going to propel my arms. So those of you standing, keep doing that. Those of you seated on a chair, 1 foot here in the front, one bun off, and you kind of lean forward at the edge of your chair and do the same. Keep going. Keep breathing. Again, this is part of our posture alignment, using that core. You should be feeling that core a little bit here. And slow it down and release. Woo! All right, so we're going to do the other side. So step that other foot back and bring the other foot forward, other foot back, shoulders over the hips, one leg off, 1 foot front, 1 foot behind you. Make sure there's nothing behind you that you're going to hit. You've got to be at the edge of that chair. Bend those knees. All right, here we go, belly button tight, and start the running man, the running woman, whatever it's called, the running person. Keep breathing. Couple more. Do what you can with what you got. And then slow it down and release. Beautiful. Let's come down to be on our back. We're seated on the chair. And I'm going to use the chair to help facilitate that. Heart rate should be up a little bit, even if you were doing this seated. So I love it how we can still get cardio workout even seated on the chair. You all can check out that cardio seated class that I do on my YouTube channel if you like. All right, so we're going to be in constructive rest posture. So come on to your back. Got my yoga mats doing weird things. What else is new, right? Whew. I just immediately felt my back pop. So for me, this is uncomfortable. So I'm going to take that hand and roll the shoulder away. And then do the same with the other side. I'm going to walk my feet a little bit more towards my behind. That feels more comfortable for me. So let's do the extended exhale breath. One of the things that we can do when we do the extended exhale breath is to find our belly button, wherever that might be. Then take your index finger and your middle finger, the width of 2 fingers, kind of below where you have found the belly button. And then hop your hand on the underside of those 2 fingers. That's your dantian, your energy center. When we're talking about Tai Chi, that's the middle of it. And you can place a hand, the palm of the hand on that area, and then one hand above. And as you breathe in, try to let the low belly expand first, which is tough to kind of get that isolated, but we just do the best we can. And as we exhale, the belly falls. So listen to the breath, concentrate on the hand lifting and falling. So here we go. We're going to breathe in for 4. And then slowly, slowly exhale for 5. Again, breathing in, belly big. And slowly, slowly exhaling. And track that belly button towards the spine. Here we go. Breathe in, belly, belly big. Now the upper belly and high belly also lift when you do this. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. One more time. Breathe in, belly big. And last time, exhaling. Very good. Let's invite the knee in towards our chest. If you're seated in a chair, you may want to take the strap along the bottom of the foot. You may want to do that lying on your back also. Just, do you, okay? And I always have to contract my belly button because this is my spicy side to do this. We're going to do knee to chest and extend the leg out. So we're kind of lubricating the knee, the hip joint as we do this. So first, just note, where this feels comfortable in your body. Is it in that hip crease? Is it in the side waist? Is it into the low ribs? So just kind of make a little mental snapshot here where it is with being comfortable. And then from here, let's breathe in, belly big. And as you exhale, contract that belly button, extend that leg out in the air. Now for me, okay, that feels a little spicy here. So is it better lower? Is it better more towards your body? So kind of find your little sweet spot, okay, wherever that might be. And then with that next inhale breath, bring that knee, invite that knee in towards your chest. Exhale, leg out. Inhaling, knee into chest. Exhaling, draw that belly button towards your spine, leg out. So you may notice some little crinklies, things going on with the hips, with the knees. So again, it's not like that's bad or good. It's an observation of something's going on, and it, may be just noise, the crepitus, right? If you've ever torn your ACL or had some challenges in your hip bone, in your hip musculature, you may notice some stuff going on. Or if your quadriceps lumboris muscle kind of holds you super tight, you may notice one side is like super able to do it and the other one feels a little different, yeah? Those of us with scoliosis usually have a very, very tight QL muscle or some other back muscle that's really kind of drawing our body to one side versus the other. Couple more. My hip is popping on this one. Just make a little kind of poppy feeling sound. And then bring the knee into the chest and just point and flex the foot. Good. That's good for reducing swelling, edema, getting those ankle point flexes, and then move it into ankle circles. Go slow, especially if you have some spicy stuff going on. And again, if you have some spice, return your attention to your breath. Let's make it go the other way. Circle it the other way. Mine always likes to talk when I go the other way. It feels kind of weird. It just does not do the same shape as the original direction. And then let's place this foot down onto the floor. Let's do the other side. So again, I'm going to pull my leg towards me. I pulled on my yoga pant to make that happen. Now on this side, for me, it's more into my sideways. It's into the hip crease and into the sideways. So again, that's due to my imbalances one side versus the other. And while we're here, we're going to inhale belly big and then contract that belly button as you extend the leg out. Now place the leg in its comfortable place. So for me, it's more towards me than it is away. Well, actually, they both feel comfortable on this side. So I'm just going to pick some place in between. And I have a little soft flex of my foot, or you can just softly point it away because it doesn't matter at this point in juncture. So again, we're lubricating the knee, the hip joint first. We breathe in, bring that knee in towards your chest. Again, you can use a strap along the bottom of the foot to make this happen. Exhale, extend that leg out. Now I like the strap because then I can bring my leg a little bit lower and I know I can pull it back into my chest. Keep moving, keep breathing. I kind of do a little flex of the heel as I extend that leg out. And just let it relax as I bring that knee in. But, that's not important. All we're doing here is getting little motion in that knee, in that hip joint. And we're listening to, feeling the stuff, that's air quotes, stuff going on with the knees, with the hips. Yeah? Woo! Couple more. All right, and then invite the knee in towards your chest. Let the foot dangle, and we'll start the point and flexes on that side. And you might notice that you're able to point flex more range of motion, one side versus the other. And again, you may not notice that. That's okay too, okay? But yoga is a great vehicle for kind of noticing what's going on with the different places in your body. And ankle circle. Oof. Of course, I got lots of snappy, crackly things going on with my foot lately. In reverse, I use those, what are they called? I use earthing shoes where you have 0 foot, I don't know. It's like you're grounded, you're walking barefoot. Barefoot shoes, that's what they're called. Well, if I could remember stuff, I'd be like cooking with gas. And then relax, and then release that foot down to the floor. All right, I'm going to grab my yoga block. By the way, you need a yoga block and a strap. Sorry, I didn't mention that, but it was in the email, I hope. And we're going to do windshield wipers. If you want to do windshield wipers, maybe get a little more range of motion with your hips. You know, step your balls with the feet on the block if you're seated in the chair. And we're going to take one leg out to the side. Now, again, if you aren't laying on your back, maybe it just feels too much for the groin, the hip. You can take the block, whatever height you like here, and place it to where you have that leg weight. Now we're on the side of the foot when we're lying here on our back. So stimulating muscles we don't normally stimulate, which is a good thing. And the top leg, we're going to drop it towards the bottom leg, so you're on the instep. So you may notice this kind of sensation happening here on the top behind, that low lumbar twist. It's not much of one, but for some folks, ooh, it's spicy. So again, keep everything between the easy and ouch. Maybe you want to do a little bit less. So it's not about taking that top hip, rolling it off, and putting it on top of the other leg. We're doing this very subtly, okay? Now squeeze the belly button, bring the top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center, realign, and let's do the other side. So I'm going to drop the other knee out. Okay, I'm pretty close to the wall, so that's kind of perfect distance there. And then take the top leg, drop it towards the bottom leg, and again, what you might notice is, does that top hip come off the ground more than it did on the other side? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Do you have more sensation going on in the top of the leg, the quadricep, in those muscles surrounded by that hip bone? We kind of generally call those hip flexors, but you know, there's very specific names for the muscles around. Iliopsoas, psoas, some others, yeah. Squeeze that belly button towards your spine. You can use your hand to guide it back, and then guide the other one. And let's, again, do this one more time each side. So drop one leg out to the side. Ooh, it's a lot easier that second time around for most folks. And then top leg towards the bottom leg. See or note if you're twisting a little bit more or feel it a little bit more in the hip bone. And what I like to do sometimes, because it is a little spicy for me on this side, I'll take the heel of my hand or my thumb and kind of press on that top hip bone. And for me, that just gives me a little bit of, sensation relief. And not that you have to do this, but it just makes it feel better in my body. Release, squeeze the belly button, bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. Let's do the other side, make it all complete. So drop the leg. Very good. And then do the top leg towards the bottom leg. And again, you're noticing is that hip rolled up a little bit more. Is there more sensation? Because you can do a little bit more, because that can be also part of the combo. You may feel it more because you're able to move more. That's okay. Again, listen to the breath. And exhale. One more time. Breathe in. And exhale. Very good. Squeeze the belly button. Bring that top leg back to the center, bottom leg back to the center. So at the very beginning of class, we did arm circles with those golfer grip hands. We're going to do that again, kind of, the golfer grip hands, not the arm circles. And I'm going to turn sideways to make this happen, in case y'all need to look at this. Not sideways, up and down. Let's see. Can you still see me? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take a leg up into the air, kind of shake that leg, wiggle that leg, get a little lymphatic drainage here. Get a little motion here, and I'm going to see, do I need my block? Do I need my strap? I'm going to get close by just in case. You're seated on a chair, shake your leg, and you're either going to take the top leg, the leg in the air on top of the ankle, and the knee out to the side, And some folks cannot bring their leg on top of their thigh seated on the chair. So that's your alternate place to be. Make sure your ankle's past your thigh. And we're going to take our hand or our yoga strap or block and bounce the leg away. You're seated in the chair. Maybe you want to pull it towards you and let it drop. Now, when you do the pull it towards you and let it drop, it's a little bit different motion happening here with the pelvis. So just kind of know it's a little bit different. It's not bad. It's just different. We're still, kind of getting that piriformis muscle warmed up before we work it out. And I don't mean ow when I say out. I just, was kind of being dramatic there. Oh, the drama. So if you have sciatica, now sciatica is one of those things that's a pinchy, nervy kind of thing. And you can have pain or a strong sensation. It could be like numbness in the toes, the feet. It could be a severe kind of pinchy kind of pain. It moves due to wherever you're being pinched with that sciatica nerve. So we're trying to ease some of that with this particular set of postures. Okay, stop that bouncing. Very good. Bottom foot, tap, 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 which you can't see very good with the up-down view, but that's okay. And then press bottom foot firmly into the floor so you activate the bottom leg musculature. Top leg, you're going to take the toes, point them towards your knee, calf contracted, all the ligaments around the knees nice and in alignment, and then take your top leg, push it away. Now you can do that by squeezing your bun and your own muscular strength, push it away. Don't forget to press into the bottom leg. Or you can take that yoga block or hand and press that top leg away. So it's kind of a traction feeling going on here. Feels different with the bottom leg side, feels different with the leg on top side. So this is a reclined pigeon posture. If you go to another beginner class, they may have you doing pigeon where your knee is up in between the hands and one leg extended back. So those of us with SI joint dysfunction, that's kind of spicy. So this is a better place to be when you're trying to address back issues, okay? And relax and release everything. Yay. Bounce that top leg. I love it. Now we're going to do something that's not normally done. They always talk about don't cross your legs. Well, we're going to do that. So the leg that's on top, go ahead and cross it on top, okay? Think about the bottom leg. We're going to try to do this now. Let's be slow. And you may want to have your foot on the yoga block to make this happen on the chair. And the whatever direction the bottom leg is pointed towards, we're going to, does that make sense? We're going to drop it towards that opposite direction. So in other words, the top leg, we're going to drop it towards the top leg direction. Why didn't I say that? I don't know. So again, kind of a controlled low lumbar twist going on here. Now I'm not going all the way down to the floor. You can use your block to help stop you. And again, kind of live in this sensation. Use your breath. In other words, redirect your mind to the sound of the breath. Here we go, right here. Belly expands when you do that. Sometimes it gets more spicy. And then exhale, belly button towards your spine. One more time. Breathe in, breathe in. Take breaks if you need to. And then exhale. Squeeze that belly button. Bring it back to the center. Take that top leg up and off. Shake it. Wiggle it. Wiggle it, shake it, and then release it down. Very good. Other side. So lift the other leg up. Yay. Shake it. Wiggle it. Get that lymphatic drainage going on here. Woof. This one doesn't shake as good as the other one. I don't know why. I just got stiff leg going on, yeah? And then bring it on top. And then we're going to bounce or pull it towards you. Or maybe you're going to pull and push it. You can do that too. But you can't bounce it away easily seated on a chair, but you can pull it towards you and let it drop. So again, you're kind of working the gravity a little bit different. If you could do this on the couch or on the bed, try doing piriformis bounce preparation for pigeon pose. If you have some of those sciatica, pinchy nerve problems, challenges, yeah? They gave my husband this for his stuff, his physical therapist. I was like, oh, they're copying yoga. Yes, they were. A couple more. Very good. And I'm going to move away from the wall, just really close. We're going to take the bottom foot, tap, tap, tap into the floor. Again, this is good for lessening edema in the ankles and the lower extremities because it's a, getting, what do they call this? I forget, but it's also lymphatic drainage. Yeah, edema reducing. And then press that bottom foot into the ground. Now, take the top toes, point it towards your knee, squeeze top bone, or contract top leg, push the bottom leg into the floor. You can use your hand to push it away, or again, wherever my yoga block is, way far away, of course, press and push it away. You may feel this in your lower abdominals. Just kind of note that, okay? We're doing some sneaky core work without really thinking about core. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to breathe. Sometimes when we're in these kind of spicy postures, it's like, I'm going to hold my breath or I'm going to breathe shallow. But I invite you to breathe low in the belly, that dantian. So breathe in, belly big. Woo! Exhale, belly button towards your spine. Are you still pressing into the floor? Are you still pressing the leg away? Are you still contracting everything? I hope so. I hope so. Because we want to do this good yoga business right here. And release. Yay. Bounce the leg. Let that foot relax. I like the part when we finish it and we bounce the leg. That's my favorite part of this posture because then we're done, right? Yeah. And then bring that leg up into the air. Now you can stomp the foot on the ground to make the same kind of shaking thing, or you can take your hands and shake your leg also, okay? Several ways to do the same thing. I love it. And release the foot down to the floor. I love it. Now, if you're on the chair, you're going to want to take your yoga block and place both feet on the yoga block. And then if you're here, laying here on the floor, let me see, am I still on the camera? Yep, I sure am. Okay. So we're going to do, I forget what this is called, but it's like the best yoga pose for, again, addressing issues going on with the back. I'll remember what it is in a bit. Well, I guess I look at my cheat sheet. Yoga Band-Aid. This is called Yoga Band-Aid. That's why I can never remember it. So we're going to take the soles of the feet together so the knees are apart. And you're going to do what you can here with the block in the chair, okay? And sometimes this is spicy for the curvature of the spine. What I'll do sometimes is take my hip bones and then point them towards my shoulders so that I'm pressing the low back into the floor. That makes it a little bit easier for me to do. And that's not the same issue here seated on the chair. So what we'll do, bottoms of the feet together, we're going to inhale, belly big. Here we go, breathe in. Now exhale, contract the belly button. If you want to take the hip bones and tilt them towards your shoulders, do that. But we're going to raise our legs halfway up. Now the bottoms of the feet are still awkwardly touching, okay? Breathe in, belly big. And then exhale, contract the belly button and bring those inside of the legs together, feet back onto the yoga mat, feet flat on that yoga block. Now we're going to do this 2 more times. So inhale, soles of the feet together, open up those knees. Notice that they open up a little bit more. Sometimes they do. It's like, ooh, okay. They kind of range of motion increasing. Keep breathing while I talk. And then join me for the next inhale breath, belly big. Contract that belly button, lift them up about 1/3 of the way. Woo, there might be some shaking going on. And then breathe in, belly big. Exhale to about 2/3. Kind of feels awkward here. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, bring the inside of the legs together, feet back onto the yoga mat, back onto the yoga block. On that next inhale breath, last time, soles of the feet together, open up those knees. Here we go, here we go. You may notice they're a little bit more close to the floor. Maybe, maybe not. And again, on the next inhale breath, woo, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, just barely lift the legs together. And again, there might be some shaking going on. There might not. Breathe in, belly big. Stay here. Exhale to about 2/3. Lift them to 2/3. No, I'm sorry. A half. I can't remember my fractions, folks. Breathe in, belly big. Come to about 3/4. Almost there, but not quite. And the feet feel kind of awkward here. Breathe in, belly big. As you exhale, inside of the legs are there. Very good. Yay. So we're going to do the notice pose. So go ahead and extend the legs out towards the edge of the yoga mat. Extend those legs back at the heels. extended if you're seated on the chair. We didn't do that at the beginning, but you may notice some stuff like feeling a little bit more released into the floor. Again, this still may be spicy. You may need to be on the back of the heels, knees bent. Just kind of, why don't you go ahead and do that? Be on the back of the heels, knees bent. You're lying on your back. Notice how that feels. And then relax the legs, kind of splay, or let the legs kind of fling out to the side. Shake your shoulders, shake your hips, shake your legs a little bit. Again, just notice the grounding feeling going on with the back places of your body. Okay, let me check our time here today. We're going to squeeze the belly button towards the spine, slide a foot back onto the yoga mat, then the other. Now, we're going to roll over onto our stomach. Now, Joseph, you're going to stay seated in the chair. You're not going to do this version. But what you can do, Joseph, I know Joseph does the chair version. So you can take your yoga block and place it here on top of your thighs, maybe the tall version, and then you'll do elbows here instead, okay? And then I'll cue you a little bit more once we get into this, okay? The rest of us slowly, surely come onto your belly. Now, if you have spicy stuff going on, if you roll over from one side to the other, that usually means your SI joint is out of whack. It's not in alignment. And I have that, so I have to be like super slow so I don't wake up the bear, so to speak. And then we're doing seated or lying on our stomach, back bend. So, Joseph, you can do this one of two ways. You can have your elbows or your forearms on your yoga block, and you can kind of like arch your belly forward, or you can grab the back of your chair, scooch to the edge of the chair, and then walk your hands up the spikes of the chair, and then let your belly, your chest go forward for your seated back bend. Those of us here on the yoga mat, you can be either in Sphinx pose, which is forearms on the yoga mat. It's a supported back bend. So yes, you have to still do back bends. And we don't have to do extreme ones though, just to get flexion and extension of the spine. Or if this is too spicy, you can always instead come down to like stacked fist and be a little bit elevated. Now, if you want to take this up a notch, Joseph, come back to a tall seated posture and do a curvy spine to the back of the chair. Do a cat posture. We won't do the cat posture here on our stomach, though. We're going to switch it up to a different version of supported back bend. So you can do one of two things. So Joseph, you can grab the back of the chair, or you can grab your yoga strap. Everybody else can also grab their yoga strap, bring it back behind you, and then, you grab back behind you, yeah? And then you're going to squeeze those shoulders, lift the arms up. If you're here on your front side of your body, maybe your nose looks down the floor. Maybe you can lift the toes up, and then maybe lift up a little bit more. It's called locust pose. Really using those back extenders, erector spinae, multifidi, and release. Woo! Maybe you want to turn the head to the side. If you've got the stiff neck, it's maybe a challenge. So maybe you want to do head on top of the stack fist. Joseph, you can take your yoga block, bring your elbows on the block and place the heels of the hands, and then turn your head to the side if you want to do the seated version, okay? All right, and then let's go to the other side. So we're going to lift our head and turn the head to the other direction. So sometimes I'll do this. Sometimes when I'm driving, I notice that my neck is really stiff one side versus the other. I'll come and lay on my stomach and do, I may do like a graduated thing. I won't be so much turning the head to the side, and then I'll work it towards, laying the temple on the side of my head. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. All right, so we're going to come out of that posture. So come up onto your forearms, curl your toes, maybe shift the hands underneath where your shoulders are. Don't even think about, just think about, or not think about, straightening the arms, lifting your body up and back into hands and knees. Oh my goodness, okay. Just, Joseph's already done this. He's already done our cat, so we're going to do flowy cat. I don't have my blanket. My knees are okay today, so I'm going to bring my hands to the top of the yoga mat. We're going to do flowy cat-cow to get that extension and flexion of the spine. It's the safer cat-cow to do for back challenges. So come down to your forearms, and then we're going to, I'm going to walk my elbows a little bit more close. You can be on tops of the feet or curly toes. I'm going to do curly toes because that's better for my toe situation. And I'm going to drop my behind towards my heels. Maybe my forearms a little bit more apart. As we are here, let's inhale, drag our nose up in between our arms. Once we get about wrist level, contract your belly button, start peeling your forearms off the yoga mat, come shift a little forward, and then keep the contraction as you curve your spine to the top of the room. You may really feel this in your abdominals when you do this. Exhale, lower back down. It may be more back down, who knows? Inhale, drag it forward. Here's your flowy cat-cow. Really soft. Exhale, contract that belly button as you peel those forearms off the yoga mat. Keep exhaling. Lower your behind towards your heels. Once again, breathe in. Try to keep your arms aligned with the wrist. Don't have the elbows go out to the side, okay? That's the challenge. A little bicep, tricep action going on here. You may want to do the seated versions if this is really challenging your shoulders today, okay? Well, my hip is popping. One more time. All right, so from here, I'm going to bring my hands back kind of underneath me. I'm going to take a foot out to the side and then come up to standing. This is just how I come out of the posture. And shift a little forward. Now, I don't have the chair close by. I'm going to try to do this without the chair today. I'm going to shift forward. I usually do my fists, curl that back toe, lift that back knee. So I'm in a nice lunge here. I'm going to take that back foot, hop walk it towards the forward foot, and bend the knees, hands on my hips, hinge up. Woo! Now when you come up to vertical, again, dizzy things can happen. So just, feet a little wide, hands into your chest, chin towards your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Breathe in, breathe out. Trying to get the equilibrium going back on. Now you can have your chair in front of you. You can do these postures seated in the chair. So it's the warrior, one of the warrior series. So I'm going to do it without the chair today. I'm going to try to do that. I've got my wall close by in case I need a little more support. So my feet are wide right now, but you know what? I'm going to heel toe out some more. I get to a nice width. And this is where you become one with your yoga mat. If you've got a slippery floor, you're going, get a good yoga mat. This is for this specific posture. So again, if you have SI joint dysfunction, you're going to lift the heel, turn the foot, so you don't do weight-bearing turns, because otherwise that can really cause more pain. And then we're going to bend the knee towards the short end of the yoga mat. Now, I'm looking, is my knee aligned with my foot? And usually I'm like tipped over when I look at that, so I got to realign everything back up. For me, this is not wide enough because I got those super long legs. So I'm going to heel toe the other leg. You can hang on to the chair if you need to, okay? You can bend the knee some more. All right, firm feet into the floor. And we're going to do warrior two, reverse warrior, and then side ankle pose. If you're seated in the chair, you're going to step a leg out, firm feet into the floor. Firm feet into the floor if you're standing also. So again, activate that musculature. Firm feet as if you're pushing the legs opposite directions. Very good. Go back to the letter W, kind of like we did before. Squeeze the shoulders. Notice how that feels different, maybe, at this point in time. You're kind of used to it. This foot, the other foot, I just ask you to be firm into the yoga mat. You can have it at an angle. You can do whatever. I just want you to have firm feet into the ground. Very good. Arms out into that letter T, whether you're seated, whether you're standing. Now, you can stay here with your head or turn your head to look over that side you stepped out or the bent knee side and gaze out over those fingers. Now, did you lose the shoulders? Re-squeeze the shoulders, yeah? And it's not like hands just like flopping out here. It's like you got spider webs at the end of your fingers and you're shooting out the spider webs. That's my visualization at least, okay? We're doing spider web fingers. Yeah, okay, whatever, right? Then the hand that's over that bent knee side or that stepped out side, do the palm up. Then you lean out, knee is still bent. Bring it up into the air. Now you can do a fist on a hip for that counter pressure, or hang onto the chair, or slide it down the leg. You can look where the wall meets the ceiling, but if you've got vertigo, look at the elbow pit or look forward, okay? So you don't want to cause more dizziness if you've got those crystals in the ears kind of challenge, okay? So side angle pose. Knees still bent. Hello. Legs working out. Hand that's in the air. You're either going to take the hand on the thigh or the forearm on the thigh. Now I start with the hand first. Other arm, circle sweep it up. Bring it by your ear, and then maybe you can bend the knee a little bit more, or maybe you can shift to where that forearm is on the thigh. I'm going to do the hand today. And then think about top hand, lengthening from the hip bone, side of the musculature, reaching for the sky. Very nice, very nice. And then circle it back on up, softly straighten that leg, pivot the heel to the foot. Woo! Heel toe in, or jump it in. I don't usually jump it in because I never know where I'm going to hit. And move around a little bit. I just like that. I know this is strange, right? Okay. So what? Okay. Step the feet out. I'm not watching you, and you're just watching me. We're going to do the other side. So lift that heel, turn the foot, bend that knee. So again, you're stepping the foot out on the other side. And again, make your adjustments. Go wider. Check your knee foot alignment. You may notice one side, man, you can do it a little bit different than the other, yeah? Go back to firm feet into the floor. Press it down, press it away. Whew. Squeeze the shoulders, letter W arms. Maybe bend the knees some more. Arms out into that letter T. Keep the squeezy shoulders. Firm feet into the floor. This is a bone building exercise, by the way. Yes. A little osteopenia, osteoporosis prevention. Now we're going to do reverse warrior. Palm up, reach a little forward, bend that knee a little bit more, scoop it up into the sky. Again, you can do arm traveling down the leg, fist on a hip, hand on a chair, hand hanging onto the chair if you're seated. Ooh, kind of wiggling here. Reverse warrior. Now we're going to take that hand that's in the air, place it either palm on that thigh or forearm on that thigh. I start with the palm. And then let's circle that other arm up and maybe bend the knee a little bit more. And then think about this top arm really reaching kind of at a diagonal here, side angle pose. Somewhat of a straight line from your hand to your hip or to your foot. Press firmly into the ground. Don't forget to breathe. Yay. And then release from that. Very good. Straighten that leg, pivot the foot, walk it in. Somehow walk it in, yeah? Very good. Whew. Now, we're going to go back to the beginning where we did those arm circles. So again, place your feet. Somehow my yoga mat likes to travel during this process. Feet firm into the floor, pointing both again at 12 o'clock. Very good. Pressing down, pressing away. So get all that going on here. Notice if it feels different. It may feel less strenuous. Go back to that golfer's grip. Squeeze the shoulders, letter W arms. Arms out into a letter T. Now we're going to draw, the thumbs are forward, yeah? Draw circles forward and back. Squeeze those shoulders. So you work up to doing 40 repetitions. When I first started doing this, it was like, oh my gosh, I can do 15 max, right? And then maybe you pick up the speed. Maybe not. And that works too. And relax and release it. Shake it out. Bend the knees. All right, let's do the other side. Fold the fingers in, letter W, arms, okay? First we had it thumbs forward, thumbs up, thumbs back behind you, draw circles back behind you. Notice that wave-like motion that's happening with the body. Feet firm, don't forget, feet firm into the floor. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Woo. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Again, get some movement going on here. We'll do the overhead extension. We won't do running man again. So interlace the fingers, press them away. All right, feet firm into the floor. Reach up. Try to have super straight arms. And then once you get to a place where you're going to stop, then you bend the elbows and really press skyward. Lengthen out of the pelvis. Now maybe you notice if it feels a little different. Maybe it doesn't feel different. Press, 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 and release. Beautiful. We're going to come back down to our back side. So come back down to the floor. I'm going to have to use that chair. Let's go back to constructive rest posture. And just notice your body here lying on the floor. Make sure your block is close by. We're going to do block bridge pose before we end class. And if you don't have a block today, you can do this without the block. But go get a block because this is yummy, yummy, yummy. So again, you're noticing what's going on here. Let's do the notice posture. Extend one leg, then the other. Notice if you feel a little bit more grounded into the surface that's supporting you. Yeah? Maybe, maybe not. Let's do block bridge. So walk the feet towards your behind. Place the block at the back of the chair, or get on the couch or the bed and grab your block and do this with us, or do it later, right? Walk the feet. Use your own strength to lift the behind up, or use your hand to guide, the behind up. Place the block underneath. Kind of scooch it down there in the low back. Now, I always feel scrunchy here, so I got to lift my shoulders, the back of my head away. That feels a little bit more, it feels better in my body. It might, maybe you're okay with that. I don't know. Then we're going to take one leg up into the air, woo, and shake it. Here's your lymphatic drainage. And side to side. Also helps with letting the pelvic organs relax in a reverse gravity situation. The rectum, the bladder, the male, the female parts, places. So if you have some of those challenges, this is a great thing to do daily, okay? Shake, 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 wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right, and bring that leg down. Notice the kind of the sensation that's happening with the legs. Lift the other one up. Again, you don't have to have a block to do this. Some people use the little foam roller or a Pilates ball, although I think the little Pilates ball would maybe move a little bit unless it's a super big one. Yeah. And side to side. Again, side to side feels weird to me, but I do it anyway. Shake it up and down. Now, let the other one join you. Maybe grab your block to make that happen. And alternate. Alternate whether you're seated on the chair or legs in the air, laying on your back. I'm sorry, that's my vacuum cleaner talking. And side to side. I think that's funny. And shake it up and down. Woo! And then release. Woo! Feel the energy. Release one foot to the floor. Then the other. Press into the floor. Lift your bottom up. Roll your spine down. Woo. Now if you want to do notice pose, do the notice pose. Again, notice. That's why it's called that. How it feels. Hopefully it's better. I feel like my hip bones are like rotating differently. They're not like tightly held. Now what some folks do is they'll stay here, maybe cover up with a blanket, maybe put the blanket underneath the bend of the knees for further easing of the back side of the body. Or another favorite for folks is to bend the knees but have the feet super wide and let the knees drop towards one another. So that way you don't have to actively hold this, and then kind of, make their upper back feel pretty good. Cover up with a blanket. Hand on your torso, near the dantian or that low belly or wherever you need to place it, or arms out to the side. And I invite you to get comfortable. So this is the place where we do the guided rest and relaxation. And I come up closer to the camera, and we'll do some ending movements afterwards. A little bit of either seated on your bottom or the chair, seated Tai Chi, just to kind of end the class in a different way. So again, I invite you to get comfortable, whatever that might mean for you today. You may need to kind of shake an arm out, maybe do the same thing with the other side, maybe shake a leg. If you're feeling some tight places in the body, maybe just breathe in. And as you exhale, just kind of let everything just soften, release, relax, let go. Allow whatever surface that's supporting you just sink into the surface that's supporting you. Now for our veterans, this is usually the most difficult part of the class, is to be still, is to be silent. Because, well, for most folks, this is like the hard part. They're okay with movement, but getting to this place, your mind is going in a whole bunch of different directions possibly, or Maybe you're feeling something going on in your body and it's just, not allowing you to kind of let your mind and your body relax. That's okay. Let's just focus on our breath now. So just listen to the breath going in through the nostril tips, going down the back of the throat into the lungs. And as you exhale, kind of notice the reverse of that process, coming up the back of the throat, out through the nose. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. And slowly, slowly breathe out. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm making a little kind of noise in the back of my throat. It's called the Ujjayi breath or the Darth Vader breath. So I kind of constrict my throat a little bit. As I breathe in, I hear that noise. And the same thing as I exhale. Again, it's kind of like the sound of an air conditioner coming on and off. Breathe in. Breathe out. So let's just kind of do a scan from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes. Notice your head, your shoulders. Release, relax, let go of that tension held in the body. Just let it melt. Let it melt. Good. Notice the shoulders, the upper back, the mid back, the low back. If those areas are touching what supports, just kind of melt into the surface that's supporting you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax any tension held in the jaw, in the mouth. If you clench your teeth, let the teeth separate a little bit. Let the lips be soft. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Let your throat, let your collarbone, let your chest just become a little bit more soft, a little bit more released. Breathe in, belly big. And out. Let your belly, let your hips, let the arms, the forearms, the fingers relax, be soft. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, listening to the breath. Once again, let the hip points, let the buttocks, that low back, the thighs, the knees, the calves, just kind of be supported by the surface beneath you. And again, breathing in, belly big. And then, belly soft as you exhale. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit and then let them be soft, release, relax. Let the feet be relaxed. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come back into the now, back into the present moment. So wherever you are, maybe you're lying on your back, maybe you're seated in the chair, just kind of wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers, wiggle your nose, squish your mouth side to side. Good, good. If you're, maybe you bring a knee into the chest and then the other. If you're seated, maybe knees wide. And you start those knee circles or those shoulder circles. So just kind of bring awareness back into your body with a little bit of movement. Good, good. And then let's reverse that. Go the other direction. Excellent. If you're lying on your back, let's go ahead and place the feet back onto the yoga mat and softly, slowly roll over onto one side. You choose which side. And then the hand that's in front of you, let's push up, come up to a tall seated place. Whether you're seated here on the floor or on a chair. Good. Let's just bring the chin towards the chest, hands to heart center. That's for us, coming from horizontal to vertical. Sometimes there's this, kind of equilibrium shift, and this just kind of helps that happen. Chin towards your chest, little upper back neck stretch going on here. Very good. And from here, bring the head to look forward. We're going to do a wild goose qigong. So basically, we're going to be fluttering the arms up. Now we're more kind of at an angle here and then down. So bring them up and down. Now bring one hand forward and one out to the side. You can lift to the side and then switch. And then go back to the front. Flutter them up and down. One more time. Flutter up and down. Then from here, take one hand, spread it out, spread the feathers, and take the thumb, turn it to the back of the room, and maybe lower the arm a little bit. I have mine a little bit higher to see in the camera. Drop your opposite ear towards your shoulder and lift that chin up. Very good. More blood flow into the brain. And release. Let's do the other side. So bring the arm out to the side, turn that thumb. Again, maybe lower the arm a little bit. Yeah? Drop the opposite ear towards the shoulder and then lift that chin up. Very good. And bring it back to the center. Next is spinal cord breathing. We basically cup the hands. And we kind of bring them here at the collarbone level. And what we'll do is breathe in, elbows up. And we kind of poof our chest forward. And then exhale, curve the spine to the back of the room, forearms close to one another. It's kind of like seated cat-cow. Yeah? We're getting into the lungs. Inhale, elbows up, 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 up. Squeeze those shoulders. Woo! Exhale, curve your spine to the back of the room. Let's do one more. Elbows up, breathe in. Exhale, curve that spine. Beautiful. And then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then we're going to hands on top of the ball. It's called bringing down the chi. This is the finishing breath in our seated Tai Chi class. And just kind of rub your hands on your legs a little bit. All right, let's bring a little circulation back into our hands. So clap the hands, rub the hands, get some circulation, some heat into the fingers. Now what I like to do on this is I'll take my fingers and tap on my brain. Yeah, and then I'll take my hand and take my arm out to the side, slap into that shoulder, drop my ear towards my shoulder, and go up and down the shoulder, the neck area. Let's do the other side, drop the ear, get your hand tapping, arm out to the side a little bit. Nice little self-care there. Very good. You can either do hands stacked upon each other or hands together. Bring them to your heart center. And again, I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest. And that's in gratitude of just you showing up today. And let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or at least an idea of gratitude. And we'll take whatever that is, that idea or whatever you're grateful for today, and just kind of bring it into your heart space, okay? Beautiful. Just a breath or two here. This is kind of how we seal the end of our class today, or this particular class. Your chin can stay continued towards your chest, or you can gaze your eyes open or closed forward. And we'll do our ending class sayings, and I'll answer any questions you might have. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for back care. Thank you for coming.